Hi guys, here to finally do another review today. This time it's on a figure which I promised on the podcast at least 2 weeks or more ago, and that is the custom Quintesson figure. And we're going to have a quick look at the box first, just to waste a bit of time, and well, I think it deserves a look at because it's a really nice box and I was surprised. It's really good quality box. It's got a nice little bio on the back there, which I'm not going to read to you. I'm sure you can find some pictures of it. Also as tech specs, I think it's done in the style of, I'm gonna guess, Generation 2 figures. I can't remember. I know it's not G1 because it had that stupid decoder thing which you needed to use. And they've used the very awesome Dreamwave artwork to show how awesome the Quintessons are. But I think on the bottom there, these pictures here of all the faces are fan drawings, because I haven't seen them before. They're alright, but they're not as good as this. As far as I can tell on the bottom, it says Wrath, Judgment, Death, War and Wisdom, and I can't remember which one that was, because I know in the Dreamwave Ultimate Guide they were called slightly different, like there was Greed in there and something like that. I think that one, the one that's called War, which I'll show you later, was Greed, but I can't remember. But I think they've, on this box, gone for the classic names. And yeah, the box, yeah, very nice box. I'm not going to do a detailed part because it's, you know, who gives a crap, it's a box. The quality for the box though, the card, you know, really good quality. I'm surprised that, you know, I thought it would be like a really crappy box which I wouldn't be fussed about getting rid of, but it's good, it's good. So we'll move on to the actual Quintesson itself, the Judge specifically. We'll take this off. This is the stand it stands on. It's meant to be the energy coming out from it. It's alright, it's not great though. Of course it's got, I'll just look at this because I can't remember offhand what they all are. Death, Judgment, War, which I'm sure was called Greed in the Ultimate Guide, Wisdom, and finally Wrath. Again, I'll show you all these in the detailed part of the video. Although all of the things are really well detailed, the proportions aren't exactly great. Like, for instance, you can pull the heads off to get into the battery section, which I'll show you in a bit. That's the size of War's face, and we'll get the biggest face, which is Death. If I can get it off, there we go. And if you compare the size, there's quite a big difference in how big each head is, and the way they're positioned as well. They're not exactly all on the same level, especially again War's. If you just look at that, and then it's kind of pulled down further. I can understand why they did it, because getting all the faces to be the same size and, you know, as detailed as they are and the same level and whatnot would be very difficult. Excuse me. But on the most part, it's very good. There are some things which I don't particularly like about the Quintesson figure, and again it will show up better in the detail part section. Like Death's face, doesn't look too menacing in my opinion. The inside of the eyes are coloured a light blue instead of black, so it doesn't really give it the soulless look to it. It makes him kind of look like he's got this big sad puppy dog eyes, which is not great for someone who's going to condemn you to death. You're going to be going, oh, isn't he sweet, when you're falling to your death and getting killed by Sharktacons. The detail on every face is pretty accurate. I mean, Wrath's face, again, not great, because Wrath had these bits were a lot larger, and his face generally was a lot thinner in the movie. I think the most accurate ones, I'm gonna say, is Judgment, but again, these bits are a lot smaller. They were maybe double the size, and, you know, gave him a much more ominous look. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great figure. It's just these little things which you can tell makes it a custom. You do have to insert some bits, and these are the spikes at the top here, which, well, this one in particular was a bugger to get in. unless you've got really tiny hands, and I didn't, and I don't, sorry. So, a nice little bit as well are the tentacles. Although they are very, very difficult to position, they are kind of bendable, but I would have personally preferred the stuff that they used to tie Transformers arms in the packaging with, you know, that plasticky metal crap. I think that would have worked a lot better. You could have got a lot more positions and poses from that, but you know, it's still good. It gives the same kind of effect with the dangliness, and of course he's got a light in the bottom, which is going to be impossible to show you in this light, but if I show you like this, it glows, and you press the button again. You can either hold the button down slightly and it'll glow, or you can just click it and it'll stay on until you click it off, and the button's in the top of the head. Again, a nice little feature so you don't have to hold it down, which I would have thought you'd have to do, but you know, that's fair enough. I think that's all I can say about this guy for the moment, so I'm going to move on to the detail part of the video and wrap this thing up. So I'll see you for... Okay, so here is the detail portion of our video, and it's a lot clearer here. I can see that, well, you can see that these eyes right in the center here are dark, well, light blue. They're lighter than the blue on, I'll just scoot you out of the way, Quintesson. They're about the same kind of light blue as Prime has on this part of his face. If anyone has this Prime, they'll know what I'm talking about. This bit right here is a very light cartoony blue, and that's the same with this kind of Quintesson's Death's face. There are a couple of other problems. Mine had a couple of chips, like there you can see a chip on his tooth. A couple of other faces have little chips on it as well, which is a little depressing, but overall there's a lot of nice detail that they've included, which is really similar to the cartoon. All of the detail along the head. Again, I would have personally I would have liked Death's face to be more Dreamwave styled, because I thought that looked a hell of a lot more menacing, but this is supposed to be a custom G1 figure, so you know, it's fair enough. Turn it around to Wrath. You'll notice that it's on a slang, and this is because of the problem with this, which I'll talk about in a minute. And that's his tentacles getting in the way. Well, we'll talk about Wrath. Again, a lot of nice detailing, and of course you've got his little satanic pointy beard, which is always quite cool. Oh god, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Wisdom? Yeah, I'll go with Wisdom. Again, looking... he's not one of the better faces, I'll be honest. Not a face I prefer, but again, he's got nice detail. All of these faces have really good detail on them. You can see again the problem of this stand. I'll try and tilt it up a bit. And if anyone remembers War from the series, they'll remember that he had one of the larger faces of the Quintessons, and yet he's got the smallest of them on this figure, which is a bit sucky. And of course Judgment with his cool little pointy hair, kind of skiing cap. I always thought of it like that. Personally, I'm going to display it with well, the most well-known face, Death, because you know it's how we've always known him and how most of the time he talked in the series. Looking at the top of the figure, we notice it's again got a lot of detail on the top there with these indented lines to give him the more robotic look to it, which again is very nice. And underneath as well we see little circles coloured in, which again very reminiscent of the G1 figure. And there goes the stand. So we'll just plop down. Okay, sorry about that. So we'll talk about this this pillar. It doesn't really stand very well on the ground. It slightly wobbles because it's not completely flat, which in itself is quite bad when you're going to have to balance something a lot larger and heavier on it. It does have nice detail with these spikes around it, but again, this part here is not completely straight, so it kind of slants slightly. It's hard to see, but it does, yeah, about there. You can kind of see it slightly bends further to the left there than it should do. Also, the hole in the top there, sorry, where the actual Quintesson lies, isn't completely surfaced or something like that. It's not perfectly flat, so the Quintesson always gets this kind of tilt to him. You can see it really clearly there. So, you know, depending on where you have him, one face can look a lot higher up than another. So that in itself is a little irritating. But all in all, I would recommend G1 enthusiasts to, you know, buy this guy. He's really good. Even though he does have the problems, he is the closest thing we're gonna get to a G1 Quintesson. So thank you for watching my review. I should be doing something else soon, I hope. So until then, see you guys later.